was tempted to see Barbie.
Yeah.
Because I quite liked her earlier movies by Greta Gerwig.
Yeah.
You know, she's serious. She did some good things. As for Christopher Nolan, I'm ambiguous there.
Why?
I liked although, which was his last Batman? The one where
Dark Knight
basically...
Rises, yeah, with...
No, what I liked is the idea, although he's against it, that Manhattan becomes the People's Republic, leftist terror. And he shows his cards there, that he is a reformist. But nonetheless, the topics was so daring that, you know, the guy played by Tom Hardy,
Bane.
the brutal terrorist, not Batman, he's there the opponent.
Bane.
Bane, yeah. But isn't he the only passionate, sympathetic image in the movie? He really loves that woman and sacrifices his life for her. So as for Oppenheimer, no, I will repeat what I said yesterday, something that horrifies many of my friends. I saw the movie later, not when I wrote the text. You know which part I liked, surprisingly? The political part. You know, all that...
The committee. In the committee. And
committee, how they manipulate Oppenheimer and these double games and so on, how he is in advance sacrificed. What I hate is Bhagavad Gita. Because I mentioned this yesterday, read history of SS. Heinrich Himmler, the most disgusting guy. He always carried in his pocket a special leather-bound version of Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because he was aware, Himmler, he was well aware that as a SS officer, you have to do horrible things, killing helpless, starved Jews. And his problem was an ethical one. Ironic as this may sound, how can you do it without losing your dignity? And his answer was Bhagavad Gita. You know, this idea of don't be identified with your acts, learn to act at a distance, and so on. So I don't like that reference to Bhagavad Gita. So you remember the first sex scene?
How could I forget?
Oppenheimer with Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
The communist mistress, not yet the wife, and she asks him or whom, I don't know, to read Bhagavad Gita. And you remember there was an outcry in India.
Yes.
I agree with them, but in the opposite sense. Why? Yes, I'm against that, because how could they spoil a beautiful sex act with a porno dirty book like Bhagavad Gita?
Jesus Christ.
And I mean, I'm not alone here. I'm not alone here with all my Indian friends.
Sure.
We agree, what I already mentioned. The greatest tragedy in India was that around year zero in our Christian era, you know, all of a sudden, Hinduism made a successful return, and Buddhism disappeared. And many of my Indian friends, even radical leftists, respect much more than Gandhi Ambedkar, who was the great anti-caste liberal. Gandhi was never against castes. He just said, each caste has its own dignity. They are all children of God. It's the same thing as fascists are saying. Working class also has its proper place and dignity, and so on and so on. So in this sense, I must say, I enjoyed the movie, but I didn't like this pseudo-metaphysical background. Forget about that.